Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about one of the most important concepts in vocal mixing, which is EQing. As you see on the screen right here, this is what you call a visual EQ. Every sound you hear is actually made up of multiple frequencies. It has the lows, the mids, and the highs, which is the high pitch part of the voice, and then the low bassy part of their voice. The EQ allows you to control these different frequencies using bands. So as you see right here, this is what you would call a band. You can make them bigger or smaller depending on how many frequencies you want to affect. And you can boost them as high or as low as you want. So if you increase the gain of the band, it'll make those frequencies more prominent in the mix and they'll stand out more. And this chart by Producer Hive is really helpful because it shows you which frequencies each part of the voice sits at. So you have the core vocal frequencies, which are from 100 to 300 hertz. And that's kind of going to boost the presence, kind of that oomph in your sound. The low end, you're going to want to cut a lot of that out. Unless you're making acoustic music and you want it to sound very natural, you might leave a little bit more in. Depends on what genre, but we'll talk about that later. The box region is from 350 to 600 hertz, and honestly, you have to be careful with this because if you cut too much out of it, your voice can sound really thin and hollow. So although they have this as a huge cut, you don't really do that when you're mixing your own vocals. And this mid-range bite, they have a pretty big range here, but this is going to depend on the vocalist. So if it's a high-pitched vocalist or a low vocalist, you may want to emphasize different parts. We'll get into more specifics in later videos. And this sibilant zone, you're going to want to control it not really with an EQ, with a different tool that we'll talk about later called a de-esser that can control the S sounds and the harsh T sounds. So yeah, you don't have to, I don't necessarily control with an EQ. Some people use like a different form of compression, but I think the de-esser is the best tool for this. And the air region is kind of just that really high, gives your vocal a little bit of crispness. You want to boost it, and some people actually roll it off if they want a different sounding vocal. So yeah, that basically covers all the different vocal frequencies and kind of the basics of EQing vocals. But in the next video, I'll show you how this is done on a real vocal and how you can get your vocals sounding clean and crisp. All right, guys, I'll see you later.